Rangers continued their fine unbeaten league run under Michael Beale as the Gers came from behind to beat Motherwell 4-2. In today's video, we'll discuss the 5 things we learned from the clash, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we get into today's video, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Calvin Bassey has revealed the abuse he got with Ajax was so bad his mother had to check in on how he was coping after his big money move from Rangers. The defender completed a £19 million move from Ibrox in the summer after an outstanding campaign for Rangers, who he helped reach the Europa League final where they were beaten on penalties by Frankfurt. But his move to the Netherlands initially turned sour, where he was heavily criticised after a series of disappointing displays, although he has recently been praised after an upturn in results with Ajax. Bassey revealed the abuse he got was so bad his mum had to intervene. He said every footballer will say criticism does not affect him, but it does affect you 100%. My mum took screenshots of the criticism, she was concerned and she called me. She doesn't know how it works. She's worried because she thinks no one likes her son. Football is mentally tough. Everybody sees us playing in big stadiums, we drive a nice car. Don't get me wrong, we live the lives thousands would like to live, but the sacrifices are not to be underestimated. Mentally, football can be exhausting. When everything goes well, it's easy, just like with people in the office. But if it doesn't go well, it's different. Then it doesn't really matter if you get a nice house after work. There is more to life than material things. I've only been a pro for a few years, remember? At Rangers it got better and better for me, but there comes a time when you form dips. With me, you could call the beginning of the season a down period. The team didn't play well and I preferred to play central rather than as a left back. It was also a character test. Just a quick one before we get back into the video, guys. We've released our brand new merchandise. We've got our Graham Souness Tim Scalping t-shirts, along with our Michael Beale Stan Smith tees. Do shop the collection by going to rfcclothing.com or going down into the link in the description. Let's get back into today's video. Rangers legend Ali McCoy wouldn't offer Alfredo Morelos a new Rangers contract based on his current form. The pundit is adamant the Colombian is the best forward at Rangers when fully fit, but remains unsure over his long-term commitment to the cause and current fitness. Speaking on BT Sports Scottish Football Extra, the Rangers legend was asked directly if he offer a new deal right now and he said no. He continued, I would need to sit down with him and have a serious chat with him. It'll be a chat along the same lines as Michael Beale discussed in his other interviews. I need to find out where Morelos' head is and where he wants to be and what he wants to achieve. A very fit Morelos is the best centre-forward Rangers have got. You need to sit him down and ask him where his head's at. Michael Beale has revealed Ross Wilson plays a major role in controlling the atmosphere at Rangers training ground. The Ibrox boss faced questions on Wilson's position after a huge fan protest during the win over Motherwell at Fir Park. Supporters had held aloft flyers with the faces of managing sporting director Stuart Robertson and sporting director Wilson's faces scored out. A huge banner displayed in the away end read, "Time for a change." However, Michael Beale defended Wilson in his post-match press duties as he revealed he works fantastically well with the former Southampton man. The Ibrox manager went on to cite Wilson as one of the major figures at the club's training facility. He explained, listen, I've always worked well with Ross and came in when I was already in the club the first time around. He was influential in bringing me back to the club. We work fantastically well every single day. He is a 24/7 football person, similar to myself, so our energy is the same. We're off working and looking at players and we control the atmosphere if you like at the training ground. We're the two main figures at the training ground. I understand the fans' frustration, they don't know everything that goes on and the work at the club, I understand that. And they pay their money and they support the club and pack out every away attendance, both domestic and in Europe. They pack out every game at Ibrox and they have a right to, in a right way, to put across their opinion. But I would say since I have come back in that the form of the team has been really good. Before, they had been disgruntled, but now we are looking forward and moving forward. I would prefer if we were all on the same page, but at the same time, they're entitled to their opinion. I think the work going on behind the scenes and towards next season is exciting. It can't all be revealed now, but I would just hope that we can make sure that we're together and moving forward. As we said in the intro, Rangers carried on their unbeaten league run under Michael Beale after the Light Blues beat Motherwell 4-2. In this part of the video, we'll discuss the 5 things we learned from the clash. Mixed performances, but deserved win. Beale had hinted at the likely absence of Nicholas Raskin at his pre-match press conference on Thursday. There was a feeling that the midfielder was touch and go for this one after sustaining a quad injury last weekend, and he did indeed miss out as John Lundstrom came into the side. The other switch saw Ridvan Yilmaz replace Borna Barisic. The Croatian spoke about missing the fixture after the Wraith win, as he looked ahead to returning home for the birth of his baby boy, and Beale had to change a back four that has been settled and fairly solid for some time now. The absence of Raskin and Barisic were noticeable, but they never looked like being costly for Rangers. The first half was somewhat torrid, but Beale's side stepped in after emerging from the dressing room in the second period. Rangers needed more from their attacking quartet after the break, and Sakala and Cantwell contributed with crucial goals. Ryan Kent grew into the encounter, but Antonio Kolak could have no complaints about being replaced by Alfredo Morelos for the final 25 minutes. The Colombian had a hand in the fourth goal, but all credit goes to Tillman after he produced a lovely finish to find the top corner. It was quite the way to mark his return to the team, and certainly a positive for Beale to take away from Fir Park. We concede a lot. Whilst the win is all that matters, we do have a habit of giving away a goal cheaply and making things hard for ourselves. We need to try and eradicate conceding all of the time, but as I said, a win is all that matters in this moment in time, and it marks Beale's winning 8 out of 8 away from home. King Cantwell. The midfielder enjoyed an excellent outing at Fir Park and capped it off with his first goal in blue. He's a classy player in the engine room and his range of passing is superb, but he's no luxury. The former Norwich man put himself about for his team yesterday and wasn't afraid to get down and dirty with his opponents, sticking the boot in when necessary, and often breaking up play to start off a new Rangers attacking phase. He's not been here long, but he has established a strong link with his teammates, and it proved to be the case yesterday as he and they reaped the benefits. Tavernier, too short of a century. As we said, Motherwell took an early lead before James Tavernier levelled with a sublime free kick that takes his tally to 98 Rangers goals. The free kick itself was unbelievable and came at a big moment, but hats off to the captain who's bagged 98 goals from right back. Rangers fans make feelings clear. The Union Bears were noticeable by their absence last weekend after being refused entry to Ibrox for the Scottish Cup win over Wraith Rovers. On that occasion, the group only had themselves to blame, as a crass banner which depicted a police officer as a pig and a reference saying "ACAB" slogan was rightly turned away at the gate by Rangers security staff. The group later posted a statement on social media with another banner that labelled Ross Wilson as the director of failure. A week, the protests against the sporting director Stuart Robertson were stepped up once again. Thousands of individual cards with images of Wilson and Robertson were placed on seats in the build-up to kick-off. As the teams took to the pitch, the overwhelming majority of them were held aloft as a larger version of the proclaimed "It's time for a change" was spread across the away stand. Those calls will undoubtedly grow louder in the coming weeks. Ultimately, it will be for those around the boardroom table at Ibrox to determine if they choose to pay any attention to the act going forward. Former Rangers boss Steven Gerrard will take on Celtic next week as he turns out for Liverpool legends in a charity match. A star-studded Reds lineup will face Celtic at Anfield for the event. The game, which takes place on Saturday, March 25th, will raise funds for charity foundations of both participating clubs. A number of former heroes on both sides have been confirmed to play. The latest and undoubtedly is the biggest name to be added to the list is Steven Gerrard. The Reds legend was Rangers manager between 2018 and November 2021. He left for Aston Villa and lasted less than 12 months as a Premier League manager before getting the sack. Gerrard guided Rangers to their 55th league title in the 2020-2021 campaign, also ending Celtic's 10-in-a-row quest. So having taken Celtic multiple times in the dugout, the 42-year-old would now take to the field once more to face them on the pitch. The likes of Dirk Kuyt, Luis Garcia, Druby Cisse and Robbie Keane will be all playing for Liverpool too. Daniel Agger, Martin Skrtel, Klaban, Jamie Carragher and Viganel will all feature. Rangers fans, what do you make of our form under Michael Beale? And do you think there needs to be a change at board level? Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we've released our brand new Rangers t-shirts. We've got the Graham Souness Tim Scalping tee and the Michael Beale Stan Smith tee. They're now available on our website. Just go to rfcclothing.com or go down into the link in the description. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.